back on the street. This is a retired New York fireman that stops by. He's a subscriber. And interesting enough, it was about 2 weeks before this conversation. He came by. We got into a little thing about 9/11 online. And I got to kind of qualify myself here with 9/11. I have viewed so much evidence of 9/11 that the jury's come in for me. I don't need any more evidence. I mean, at the very least, we lied about 9/11. At worst, it is a government conspiracy, government deep state conspiracy. The government was just part of it. Deep state is what pulled that off. But Tim, the fireman here, I like him a lot. He reminds me of a lot of guys I know back in New York, and I just love the attitude. But he just amplifies. I guess there's some people who just have a blind spot. They do not want to believe. And it's not about belief; it's about evidence. And you're going to see as we go through this, I will bring up certain aspects of 9/11 that he will agree with that are, strange. Yet he just kind of shelves it and goes on with the belief that it couldn't possibly be an inside job. So I had a log ahead here with this, and I don't know if he'll ever will. I don't know if he'll ever come around, but that's okay. I mean, I don't know if it's okay, and I'd like to see him because he was there that day. He was a fireman, and I have to, take what he says to heart. But I also know what a denial can do. People don't, the fear of going over into the abyss of thinking that, that everything you've believed in all your life can be just pulled out from underneath you. It's a very strong thing. Anyway, let's give you, the routine. If you like, hit the like button. If you care, you share. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And I really could use the support. This lag time I've had has cost me dearly. A lot of expenses, a lot of things broadside me here, and just making it real tough. So, anything you can do to help, if you'd like to get one of my designs, like the 9/11 t-shirt you see here, or that design, or something else, please do, because it'd be, grand if I could keep on doing this. So thank you very much, and let's get to this, and I'll be popping it from here to here. What? That's my question now. What's going to happen if because the left's not just going to go, okay, fuck it, let's go home. Let's
lost the battle.
They're not going to do that. As it leads up to the election, they're going to be more and more. I mean, if you think they're crazy now.
No. It's a new book of crazy gets opened up.
What do you think it will be?
Who the fuck knows? What, are you kidding me? What, are you kidding me?
So you're not crazy? You don't know? I'm hope. I just get.
It's for them. It's an all-out war.
Yeah,
always.
Well, it always.
Always.
Well, it is for them, and literally too, because if true justice were to come about, they'd all be hanging.
Oh yeah. Well, no. Because you got the Republicans who never bring it to.
No, they'll be hanging too. See, one of the things in the background, the reason there's so much
we're beyond true justice happening in this country. True justice.
Now, I don't know if it's a rumor or not, but have you heard about the military tribunals that are being set up?
I've heard about it. You've heard about the.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got to get out of the sun. my Polish deli owner in my neighborhood gave me this thing. He's great. He turned me on to Smedley Butler.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And from that...
Hey, lady. Sure, of course you can. Okay? If you'd like to leave anything in the bulletproof, that's fine. It's always appreciated. Yeah.
All right.
You could stand over here, next to Donald, okay? And I'm gonna just perform a grossly horrible thing to a totally politically incorrect act of. Oh, you too? You want to get kicked off of Facebook too? Okay.
We won't post
That's good.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Awesome.
Let me get the two of you just with Donald, okay?
Okay.
All right.
I'll show
You stand right here, and I'll cut her out altogether.
Oh, do you want me in?
I want you in it. Of course I want you in it. He loves to be seen with pretty women. Are you kidding me? Now the two of you can say you had an affair with them and saw them later, see? Mega.
A little more than a mile away from where I grew up.
I've gotten to speak to, being out here, people that have done business with them and bumped into him over time. I haven't heard a bad story yet. All the bad stories are secondhand.
He's got a huge freaking ego. So what?
Yeah.
You know, you cross him, you're going to get hurt, business-wise.
Yeah. Well, you understand the New York attitude, and mentality, and humor.
And you try to piss him off, it ain't going to turn out well. So I love him when he's up at the podium and he turns it on.
Yeah, we get it. We get it.
It cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
So what do you think is going to happen? I mean, do you think I still don't know.
Yeah, I just hope that they maintain both houses, If
the tribunal's all what I'm thinking of. That's why I'm thinking.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true. This thing that I was telling you, my Polish delegate, he turned me on to this one website, and it's QAnon related.
I'm worried about him too.
I don't know if that's true.
Exactly. Again, more of that New York skepticism coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it would be nice. This one that he turned me on to was pre-election, where it was back in 3 years before 2016, where Trump was recruited by all these military generals who saw what was going on with this globalism shit and said, hey,
right.
And said, Trump said, Democrats and Republicans, politicians, professional politicians were all aligned with this globalism shit. These generals said, no, we don't want it. Get Trump, get him in, sweep this shit out, all this circuits that goes along with this globalism.
It's real. Kennedy's called it the shadow government.
Yes.
Eisenhower said beware of the military-industrial complex and the technological
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know if it was tied into globalism at that time.
Yeah. His plans were going for a long time.
Yeah.
Read is a great book. I just finished reading. Read it twice over. I don't know how to do that right back to back.
Yeah.
Right.
And you wanted to soak up as much detail.
Yeah, I'm going to read it again and again because this thing is like just.
Yeah.
It's called The Killing of Uncle Sam.
Appropriate for you.
Yeah, I hope it's not prophetic, right?
Yeah, I had messaged you. Could I follow you and...
When did you do that?
I guess about 2 weeks ago.
Okay, good.
But I follow you and agree with you on everything.
Oh, good.
With the 9/11, and you told me, bye.
Yeah, this is where I remember him saying something about 9/11 in the comments section, and well, I just said, I'm over it. I don't. My mind's made up. I know. I'm certain that something happened than what we were told in 9/11. Certainly wasn't what they told us. But, you know, I remember that, and it's nice that he came by, that we could have this face-to-face about this, because now we can really get into it. I mean, it becomes a bit of a battle of the wits, but, you know, figures don't lie and lies don't figure. You just got to take in the physics of 9/11 alone. And it blows it out. But let's get into this argument here. And Tim, if you're listening, buddy, you know, I hope you look up some of the things I've said. You're probably already have, but you know, we might have to just learn to agree to disagree on this one. But here we go.
Which, you know, I'm to each their own. But
all I say, go to listen to architects and engineers.
I know. I've looked at it.
I mean, physics don't lie.
And I came back. You know, I said, you know, there was they did a good computer simulation. They can portray anything that they want.
Those could be,
make it look as good as I know. I'm a skeptic in every form of life, and make it sound legit. But
those computer simulations have been debunked over and over again.
Well, it depends on how.
No. It's easy to do. It's easy to do.
It's easy to do for any aspect.
But how do you?
The way you look.
How do you debunk the eyewitness testimony?
I'm city fireman, right?
Yeah.
I'm New York City fireman.
Right.
I was there, so I know the towers themselves. It's kind of.
You saw the testimony from other firemen?
Yes. Right.
The ones that said the bombs were going off around them.
Yes. Okay.
You saw the ones that said it was like a controlled demolition.
I spoke to them.
Okay.
All right. And snippets of a conversation with somebody to be made to look like something that it's not.
No. Sorry, Tim, you lost me on this one. You ought to go back and listen to the testimony again. You say you talked to them. Those clips were not taken out of context. What they said is what they said. And, I don't know. I have to take to heart. I mean, the guy's an ex-New York City fireman. He was there in the thick of it when it was happening. He's contradicting the 118 firemen that have testified that there were bombs in those buildings. I mean, I don't know. How do you debunk 118 firemen? I don't know how you can go ahead because all that testimony was taken in just a few days after the event. I mean, I think it was a fire chief, captain or chief that made an effort to go around and get testimony from as many firemen as he could. So none of the stuff, I mean, it's documented. So I don't know, Tim. I don't know. You got to go back and listen to your brethren again.
You know that, right?
What about the...
Yeah. You know that, right? Snippets of a man's word on video can be
but these are right now. These were live.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
These were live.
It depends on how you frame it to make it look like something that it's not.
Well, how do you...
I was there when Building 7 came down, right?
Right.
And it looked totally bizarre, right? From the front, it was clean. There was no smoke. There was beautiful glass facade. No signs of damage on it, right? But around the back and the side, there was billowing smoke for 5-6 hours.
So?
There was a fuel tank. There was a fuel tank on me.
So?
Don't do that.
I don't mean to be flippant here, even though I'm coming off that way. But I'm trying to point that basic physics, that you mean, even if there was a fuel tank, it can't burn hot enough to melt the steel. It can't burn hot enough to weaken the steel where it will all collapse all at the same time. So that's why I'm kind of like, again, I've done this so many times over and over again. I guess I tend to come off flippant at times, and that's what I did here, but let's get back.
Don't go so.
It's impossible. It's physical. I'm going by physics. I'm just going by physics.
That doesn't solve it.
Yes?
No, it doesn't.
Well, then how do you explain? I mean, let's say it's one fuel tank.
Many things can happen.
But none of those many things were explained after, you know, when who did they started carting away the evidence the very next day.
You can say it doesn't. You can say it doesn't solve. It doesn't explain it, but.
I think in this instance, you are really going into denial here because it's blocking.
Sorry,
let me give you this.
The logistics that what would have been needed to put those things in place.
Yes. 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 And who had access to that building? Who had access to that building?
Just think.
Who had access to that building?
The government is slight on being able to pull things off.
They pull off wars and get away with it.
They don't do it well.
No one disputes that, you know, let's say that World War II, they call it the just war, but it was started on a false flag premise. We knew the attack was coming. We let it happen. That is a matter of historical record.
Yeah, there's all kinds of things
Vietnam, millions of people died in Vietnam over a lie. The war in Iraq, millions of people died over a lie.
What do you
so if they're willing to kill millions of people,
Who do you think killed Kennedy? Who do you think?
The same people that denied.
No. Was it Oswald?
No.
What?
He's exactly what he said. Was a patsy.
So it wasn't 4 shots from the book depository.
No.
There was somebody on the grassy knoll.
How do you explain the bullet hole in the front shield that bounced off the front shield?
Yeah, that's never. I've read.
You know, a lot of
books.
now. Understand.
I know
a conspiracy.
This one confused the shit out of me. I read 12 books, so all the documentaries, all the movies, and I was thoroughly committed to a conspiracy.
Right.
Went every which way for 30 years, and finally, after seeing JFK the movie, I said, Oswald did it. There's no magic bullet. That one bullet did all the damage through his neck, through Connolly. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I'm sorry. Yes, it did. You can deny all you want. You can believe that one prosecutor's explanation of, or trying to deny the magic bullet of how it stopped midair and turned and... Come on. Follow the straight trajectory. They recreated...
Nobody's been able, any sharpshooter's not been able to recreate those shots.
Then you haven't watched the documentaries. They set up towers and used ballistic jelly models to reenact it all. You didn't look far enough.
You understand a conspiracy is like a 4-peg stool.
Yeah.
Once one of those legs are unexplained, like you can't explain the bullet coming from the front into the car. You can't explain that. That bullet hit the front of the frame, not the back, the front. You can see the picture of it, and it's the front of the car.
No, there's no clear picture of the damage on the windshield frame.
And witness testimony.
You only see the...
But concerning 9/11, how about the personal testimony I've had out here? You've given me yours. But there was an EMT, a woman that was in an ambulance, was driving to the damage 2 blocks away from Tower 7. They stopped with some injuries and to clear some debris.
Yeah.
A bomb squad comes up to them while they're there. And they tell them, don't go any further. And they said, what? No. We got to go do our job. We have to go over there because our building is, you know.
Yeah.
They said orders do not go any further. This is a military order. And while they're standing there wondering why they can't go any further, the street they were going to go down, the cars started blowing up. Boom, 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 boom. They grabbed their cameras and took pictures of this. That night, the company calls up and said, everybody turn in your cameras. They kept the pictures and turned into cameras. This woman got so upset by what she witnessed, she quit and moved down to Florida. I got her on video telling me this. I got a survivor from the second tower telling me about the explosions that were going off as they were going down in the second tower. How about Willie Rodriguez? How do you explain him? Willie Rodriguez showed up at the Twin Towers about 20 minutes late.
No, I know there's all kinds. Everybody has.
How do you explain?
Stories.
Willie Rodriguez was the guy with all the keys. He was given a medal for saving 252 lives. So he is as he walks in to go to work. The basement below him, boom, blew him upwards. Then the plane hit right after that. People from the basement came up through the elevator blown with their skin off. So how do you expect? Now, he got the medal from President Bush. He got the Citizens Medal of Honor from President Bush.
Right.
This guy testified. How about Willie Rodriguez, not Willie Rodriguez, Barry Jennings, who was head of security for World War II, the WT-7?
Yeah.
That's because the emergency bunker was there, right? I think on the 7th floor.
Mm-hmm.
He goes up to the 7th floor, gets there, and half-eaten sandwiches, coffee with steam coming out. He gets a phone call, get out. So he starts to leave. The bottom floors blow out. Him and another guy break out a window, and some firemen come along, and they got the ladder, and they take him down. You can see the tape of him walking along saying, the basement, the bottom floors blew out. There was bombs in the basement. So this is him talking on film. The head of security, remember, the head of emergency security, Barry Jennings, on his way to testify to Congress, he dies mysteriously. How do you explain that?
Shit happens.
You can't have that many coincidences, man. You got to accept the fact that who benefited from 9/11? Who benefited? In a crime, somebody benefits. Who benefits? Who benefited from 9/11? It wasn't the Arabs. It wasn't the Muslims. Who benefited?
A lot of people benefit.
Who?
Military.
Thank you. The military-industrial complex of the national security state. Remember, we were on a peace dividend back then. Oh, we had, we were looking at no enemies. Right.
Yeah.
So we were on a peace. All of a sudden, you have all this military-industrial complex going, oh, shit, we need to have an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling me that 7 men with the box cutters, who wound up 5 of them on the BBC after the incident being interviewed live. How about the BBC talking about building number 7 coming down 20 minutes before it fell?
Yeah, that's a weird one.
Again, a 4-legged stool. If one of those legs come out, the stool is useless. The whole conspiracy falls. You cannot keep on believing that that was not a conspiracy.
I don't know, Tim. You can see you're fought with contradictions. I mean, you agree that a lot of the things that we're talking about here seem odd and strange. You can't just dismiss them. You can't just go, well, yeah, but I don't believe it happened. Anyway, that old Tim, I don't know. What do you guys think of him? It seems to me he's stuck somewhere along the line here. But, good guy nonetheless.
Well, it's just certain things that I know that are facts. Planes flew
And I bring in you.
Planes flew into them.
Nothing flew into building number 7. What about the Pentagon?
Wait. I know.
What about the Pentagon? Let's talk about the Pentagon.
Hold on.
Now, here's the...
Hold on.
Right.
Buildings flew into the Trade Center, yes? I mean, planes flew into the Trade Center, yes?
As far as we know, yes. Trump himself says the day after 9/11, they interviewed him. You can see this on tape, on film.
All right, my tour is leaving. Nice talking to you, sir.
All right, contact me. I'll send you some more stuff. All right, brother man.
All right, be good.
What's your name?
Stay safe. Tim.
Tim Brady, Mike Barry, Tim.
All right. Thanks, sir. Keep it up.
How are we doing?
Oh, it's got a show.